Welcome back everyone to another video, and as this thumbnail suggests, no news, but is it good news? And well, there are a couple of implications that actually go in Microsoft's favor with this actually having not been decided this weekend. Now obviously it's unlikely that Judge Corley will be making any further announcement this weekend, and it is likely now going to go into next week potentially, and the date that she originally gave was the 12th. It was expected that she was going to give her announcement a little bit earlier than the 12th, but it seems she may actually use all that time. Now, ideally, if she actually does it on a Monday, that would be actually perfect for Microsoft. So why is it a good thing that there is no news? And, you know, what does this mean for Microsoft? What does this mean for the FTC? So as we're all aware, there's a cooldown period for 5 days, and within that 5 days, the FTC is going to mount an appeal, which they will put through and hopefully try and get it pushed through to the appeals court. And if it does go through to that, keeping in mind if this is bearing, you know, the preliminary injunction failing, it basically gives the FTC an opportunity to appeal, but it's for 5 days. Now, if this still had, you know, if the decline option had gone through today, well, there's a problem, because that problem is that the weekend doesn't count. So they would have until Thursday to actually come up with a defense. That would have actually gained them an extra 2 days. At least that's what I'm understanding from everything I'm reading and from all the chats that I've been having today, and just from what I've been listening into. So the fact that it didn't actually go through today, in a really weird way, actually plays in Microsoft's favor, because it gives the FTC less time to actually prepare an appeals process. Now, are they working around the clock right now in preparation for an appeal? Maybe, but maybe they feel confident enough to think that they did enough to make sure that this preliminary injunction is going to be granted, and they're not preparing for anything else. In my opinion, that's the more likelihood based on how the FTC has handled this case, you know, from its start. Basically a mess. You know, they did pull it back a little bit in the final, the final verdicts and stuff, but overall, their closing statement, though, was okay. I don't think it did enough compared to everything else that had happened throughout the week. But with that said, it is interesting because now that the weekend is here, we shouldn't expect anything on Saturday or Sunday. It looks like if the decision does go through on a Monday, the FTC now has less time to prepare, and Microsoft has a much better chance of basically having anything that they're pushing through to be squashed. And for those of you out there that are actually hoping this still goes through, that can only be a good thing. Now, there were some timestamps earlier today which basically showed that Judge Corley was actually working on the actual ABK decision making. Now, she was actually due for another trial today, which she was dealing with, and so obviously she's busy. She's not exactly just looking at this case alone, but it's also worth mentioning that this case is probably going to be the biggest case she ever looks at, period. I don't think there's going to be another case out there that's going to have the significance that this case will have. In fact, I would go far as saying that the decision that she will make on this case will pretty much be her legacy when it comes to, you know, dealing with cases in the court of law. And I think that's why she's taking extra time to make sure she's got all the information she needs to be able to make that informed decision. Now, I think that she's still gonna decline the preliminary injunction, but, you know, considering the sensitivity of this topic, I can understand why there's no response this week. And in a certain way, I'm actually happy that there's no response this week, because it really does give the FTC less opportunity to react. And considering how badly they've handled this, I actually want them to lose. You know, it's not that I'm picking a side or anything, but I genuinely do believe that what the FTC is doing is unlawful, and you know, there should be consequences for acting unlawfully, especially in the United States, right? She's based, you know, Lena Khan, who's, you know, pushing this forward, has, in my opinion, you know, just abused the rule of law and has decided to go rogue and do whatever she wants. And the actual trial itself proved that in many, many ways, where they just were going at it in circles and trying to basically get people to trip up more than anything else. And maybe that's a tactic that they were hoping for. It didn't really work, but they were trying to bend the law to where it worked for, where it was okay for one but not the other. It was weird. I didn't like it, and it's for this reason why I don't want them to actually to win. I'm always on the side where if the law is right, I'm with the law. And if this was anti-competitive, I'd be up there with, you know, people saying, right, this is anti-competitive, I agree with it. But this, you know, the arguments that the FTC has brought about, in my opinion, are not enough. They're just not. To me, more people will get to play the games, more people will get access to Activision Blizzard games. Like friends of mine who don't have an Xbox, but, you know, they've got like a Samsung TV, can actually play the games off their Game Pass TV and stream the games if they want to. It's an option, you know. But at the end of the day, will cloud be the big powerhouse machine that they're saying it's going to be? Who knows? And if you're hearing my stomach growl, I am very sorry. I am quite hungry. It is like 3 a.m. in the morning as I'm recording this, but I wanted to get this out tonight because I'm going to be quite busy tomorrow, and I doubt there's going to be any further input, you know, directions from Judge Corley. So I wanted to get this out tonight so we could, you know, have that discussion, have that, just so you all know where we're at with it. I also wanted to say a massive thank you for the support you've all shown to my other content. We're starting to see nice little traction on those videos. We're hitting like 1,000 views, which is really, really nice, and I really appreciate it. We are now heading to 2,000 subs, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, no news is good news in my opinion. This works for Microsoft. This is definitely a win for Microsoft in terms of what they would have wanted. If the decision had been declined today, the preliminary injunction had come out today, and they said, and Judge Corley said the preliminary injunction is rejected, that would have given the FTC 2 solid days extra to be able to mount a defense. So let's see how this is going to turn out. It's not over yet. And obviously after the FTC trial, if the preliminary injunction is, you know, rejected and Microsoft is allowed to close after the 5 days, if their appeal doesn't go through, obviously there's still the CMA to deal with. But I think based on the decision of the FTC, that's going to have a massive knock-on effect on the actual CMA, and we may see things on that side at least work a lot faster. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. And don't worry, for future videos, I'm going to try and add some B-roll, so you don't just look at this, well, at least until I get a better camera. The camera I want is about £300. I'm either looking at the Elgato Pro Cam, so it's like a 4K camera, so it gives a much better picture, or the 360 Link. I'm kind of currently investigating which one I want to go with, but obviously I need to save up the money first to be able to pick that up. So hopefully we'll be able to get there soon, and then the quality of the camera at least will be improved as well. That's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.